He was truly a visionary. He could see the future and set a path for the city of Peabody that is vibrant today.
People can be visionaries and innovators and see the path forward, but not everybody can actually make those things happen. He rolled his sleeves up and worked as part of the team to really bring things to fruition.
He never took any task on lightly. Whatever he did, whether it was running the city or building a new YMCA, he was in 150%, and he never wavered.
Really cared about the city so much. I think he devoted so much of his life to trying to make Peabody an even better place to live than it was originally. He just kept going and going and going.
Energetic and exciting, and he was fun to work around. He never expected anyone to do anything that he wouldn't do. So whether it was setting up for the concerts, he was out there putting tablecloths on the tables. For the International Festival, he was out there with us at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, drawing lines for the booths.
He was born here, he was raised here, and he never left. Playing high school sports at Peabody High, to being a mailman, to being a ward counselor, a counselor at large, and mayor. His dedication and commitment to the city of Peabody was unwavering. It was unbelievable. It was just an integral part of who he was.
Citizens of the city would call late at night, my street isn't plowed, they were angry, or there was something wrong with the roads. He listened. He just listened, and he acted, and he treated everyone with kindness, with respect, with dignity. And I think that's what, his humility is truly, it's rare, and just so proud of him.
Yeah.
There is still an indelible mark. The building of the Torigian Life Center, the Public Works Facility, the Brown and the Carroll School, the Main Street that we know today, really the genesis was with him. Another indelible mark that he's left on the school system is the Peabody Education Foundation, and that was his idea. Financial and human resources that couldn't be acquired in the budgets at that time. So the idea was to supplement, not supplant what the schools were doing. That was in 1985.
I can remember going through 14 city council budgets when we went through the school department budget, and he was always very careful that programs were appropriate for the youth and that the city was trying to keep up with all of the other communities. And he put a great emphasis on education. He just had such a vision for ensuring that all different groups in the city were taken care of.
He was the one who built the Brown and Carroll schools. It was his idea that those two schools, that we needed to start from scratch, and we needed to build 2 new brand new elementary schools. And he got behind it. They were not easy decisions. They were tough decisions, but he knew how important it was to have those 2 schools built.
Spearheaded the Student Government Day and making sure that students understood the importance of local government.
And that was like a big thing every year that, kids competed to be able to come and spend time at City Hall, and sort of his oversight and spearheading that whole thing too was a way for him to reach older students too, I think.
He took off with it. He expanded it to the point where, we went from 10 positions or 15 positions to 30, 40, and 50 positions that students were representing throughout the city. He turned it into not just a 1-hour event, but he turned it into a day-long event. He just really expanded on that whole idea of getting students involved in student government.
When you see somebody that is in a position as mayor, and I once noticed, because I had an office downtown and I was heading to lunch, and he and the city solicitor were walking together. He saw some trash on the side of the street. He bent over and picked it up, put it in the trash barrel, and the next day they had street cleaners there. He believed that, you had to live a role, and that role was, if you love the community, you care for the community.
Every Christmas there would be a concert, a holiday concert, and he would sit there and say, just wait till the end, you won't believe it, you won't believe it. And, you know, everybody at the end is singing the Christmas carols together, and all of a sudden, fake snow would start coming from the ceiling, and that was his big surprise. Like, and everybody would start laughing, and they thought it was so great, and it was just his way of thinking of every little detail that would bring happiness and joy to others.
Even though it could seem silly at the time, it was like building that sense of community. But in the end, those ideas and those funny things that he would do, or unique kind of things that he would do, were often a great way that he brought people together.
He was very loving with his family and his friends. He just was a very special person.
He was almost like a father figure to me. He held a very special place in my heart, not just because I worked with him for 17 years, but always maintained a great relationship even after that. Always had that open door policy. He always made people feel welcome, and that was really important to him. And I think it's something I always admired in him, and I always will.
His legacy in the schools is clearly the schools that he helped build, the schools that he helped sustain, but in particular, the Peabody Education Foundation. If you think about it, from that idea, we have serviced literally tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of students. That to me is a true legacy, to know that you've impacted that many lives with an idea, and he participated in that idea. Some people like to talk, but it's rare you find the people who talk the talk and walk the walk, and he walked the walk in every one of his ideas.
I still feel him throughout the city and in all the buildings, the signs that have his name on it, the Y, the senior center. It's really heartwarming that people to this day remember him and they appreciate all he did. It means a lot to the family.